Hold on, now I gotta get a little bit prepared.
Good evening, everyone. Today is Thursday, August 13th, 2024. Welcome to the Harrison Township Planning Commission meeting. Mr. Batchow, acting as secretary today, will you call them, or do roll call, please? We'll call the meeting to order at 7:03? 7:00? Yeah, oh yeah, straight up.
Member Batcha present, Member Devlin,
Present.
Member Duncan,
Excused?
Member Mulder,
Present.
Member Tominello,
Excused?
Member Oparka,
Excused?
Chair Murray.
Present. Thank you.
Just for clarification, I believe you said August 13th.
Oh, my goodness, thank you. It's August 15th. Thank you. I wish it were August 13th. It's going by way too fast. August 15th, 2024. Approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Are we removing item D?
I think we'll just announce it as soon as we reach that point.
Okay.
Yeah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. May I have approval of the minutes as presented from our last meeting, please? June 20th?
I'll make a motion to approve the June 20th meeting minutes as presented.
Thank you.
Support.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Hearings and review. Our public hearing for this evening, the applicant has requested to cancel. I'm sorry, the applicant has requested to table in light of the deficiencies noted in the engineer's letters and the planner's letter. And so they are respectfully removed from the agenda for this evening. Do we have to, since the applicant requested to table, do we have to take an official vote to table them?
I think that makes sense to me, that you would actually open the case, table it,
Okay,
and move on.
so open the case, but not the public hearing.
So this is not a public hearing. It is it's a site.
Just a site review, yeah.
So a public hearing is not necessary for this
All right,
request.
so this guy needs
This
to go. up.
probably should have been under
Yeah.
item C on the
Yeah.
agenda, but either case.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to table case number 20-24-S.
Support.
Any discussion on the motion? Did you want to table it to our next meeting, whether that's September or otherwise?
Did the applicant make any, they plan to come back in September? We'll table till the next meeting, September
19th?
Madam Chair, maybe in that regard, it's possible with the comments that we had provided to them that they may need more time to update their plan.
So next meeting rather
Maybe-
than date specific?
Maybe not a date specific.
Okay, we can do that. Thank you.
I'll amend my motion just to table the case number 20-24-S.
Okay, sounds good. Ms. Devlin?
I continue my support.
Excellent, thank you. Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'm sorry, I forgot to say aye. Aye.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
I was just thinking.
Correspondence. We've received a notification, you all have received a letter from the Township of Clinton regarding their master plan. There's a public hearing scheduled for Thursday, August 22nd, 2024 at the Clinton Township Hall. Copies of the master plan are available for inspection at their Planning and Community Development Department, and then also available online at www.clintontownshipolitogether.com. So if anyone wants to take a look and participate in their public hearing, you are welcome to do so.
So can I ask a question about this?
Sure.
So, is this, like if we, as a commission, do we review it and discuss any issue that comes up and then forward our comments as a commission? Or are they asking just us as neighboring citizens to forward our opinion if we have one?
That's a very good question.
So it's, the process for a master plan, which is what they're working on, is normally they would have, according to state law, they would have sent us a letter a while back, 63 days at least in advance of the public hearing on the 22nd, indicating that they had prepared a draft plan and giving us 63 days to provide comments in writing. I'm not saying they didn't do that, but
Yeah,
I don't.
I think we did receive something.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I just don't recall receiving that. So at that
Me
point
neither.
would have been the time to collectively, as a commission, if you wanted to, you could have provided maybe comments as a commission to their planning commission that they might want to consider. Given that it's, the 22nd, which is next week, I would say you are welcome to maybe attend that as a representative of the Harrison Township Planning Commission, but maybe not as a, not speaking on behalf of the Planning Commission, because you didn't have an opportunity to say, issue a letter and actually vote to send that to them, if that makes sense.
Yes. Are you, as the township planner, assigned to review the draft and comment if there is anything that affects us, like on the border properties and that sort of thing?
So yes, I don't know if I missed that when it came through or wasn't aware of it. I'm not sure. I certainly could have or would have if you wanted me to do that. I'd be glad to take a look, even in advance of the 22nd. We still have time to provide, comments or any representative from the township to go to the meeting.
Yeah, it's a week from tonight.
Yeah. So if you want, I can put it on my to-do list this week and share at least a copy with some thoughts. I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of what they want to do in their community, but as it relates, as you said, to the border areas,
Yeah.
at least adjacent to Harrison Township.
In particular, our areas that are still undeveloped,
Yeah.
that we're still,
Sure.
actively considering. I think
Yeah.
it would be important to
Okay.
have some sort of,
Yep.
even if it's just a big overall,
Yeah.
because it seems like that stuff then comes up later.
Yep. I'd be glad to do that. So look, maybe I'll shoot out an email to the Planning Commission early next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll try
Excellent
and look too,
question.
but I feel like you're way more informed in these matters than I am, or that we are.
Any additional discussion regarding the Clinton Township Master Plan? Public hearing notice? Okay. Comments from the planner?
So we have an item from the clerk's department. This is a liquor license transfer request for Boat Town Willie's. So you have that in the packet there. The reason it is in front of the Planning Commission is in the Harrison Township Code of Ordinances for any liquor license request. So the applications go through the Township Clerk's Department. And when the clerk has received an application, he is to send it to the Planning Commission. And so you, the Planning Commission, are asked to provide a recommendation to the Township Board. Ultimately, the Township Board needs to decide whether to grant the liquor license request. And the way that it's worded, it says, in addition, the site plan or any other site parking and seating in the building shall be referred to the Planning Commission for their recommendation. So you did, in the packet, they did provide to us a floor plan. They also have kind of a plot plan of the site that shows their building at the corner there of Bridgeview and South River, and the parking lot that surrounds it. They did provide the floor plan of the interior. Just for your information, this property is, this is Boat Town Willie's Restaurant. It is zoned general business, so this is appropriately zoned for the use. So ultimately, in consideration of parking or indoor seating or otherwise, you are to make a recommendation to the township board.
Thank you.
So I have a question. So at what point would, like a parking lot improvement be triggered? Or would it be like a change in the footprint of the building or?
Right. So, yeah, it's an unimproved parking lot right now. We, of course, would love to see it upgraded over time to hard surface and even to conform with a parking lot setback to provide for some screening and landscaping. They actually did appear before the tech team, Boattown Willie's representatives, with some, I think it was some seating areas in front of their restaurant and maybe some improvements to like the bollards. And at that time, they had further plans or future plans for maybe potential expansion there. And we informed them at that time, okay, and we talked about the unimproved parking lot, and we said, at that point, when you increase the footprint or expand upon the building, then the requirements of the ordinance would kick in. Of course, they'd have to provide enough parking to accommodate the intensity of the use, depending on how big their expansion went. And so they were aware of that, and it didn't seem to scare them off, but I think that's the answer to your question, when they actually would, something needs to trigger the ordinance requirements kicking in, and a building expansion would be the trigger.
If they don't want to just volunteer to do it themselves.
Of course.
Right.
Right.
It's just such an eyesore. I think
Yeah.
because it's so prominent in the community, you know, the entrance, and so it would be nice for it to be improved.
Yeah, it hasn't had any major improvement in the 30 years that we've lived here, or 20.
Yeah, and I don't think this is in the DDA district. I'll have to
Correct.
confirm. But if it were, it could be eligible for a facade grant and some assistance with improvement.
And that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, those have been underutilized.
I wonder if people just don't know they,
They
It's
get
not widely-
hand-delivered letters,
yeah.
you know? I think, I don't know if it's the administrative burden of filling out the paperwork, which, I mean, the organization I work for requires a lot more, and people seem to be able to do it. And you get 50%, I think, so,
Wow, that's a lot. That's a huge help.
yeah. So the DDA board has had discussions about like opening that up to maybe allowing for sign upgrades, because, you know, that can help a community
Well-
look better.
Yeah, facade upgrade would be huge. That would be wonderful.
Yeah,
So
This
so-
parking lot.
Since you brought up the sign, I had similar questions along with the parking lot. Rumor has it that the intersection that they're located at is the most dangerous intersection in Harrison Township because the flashing yellow and flashing red and people don't. Some
They're
people stop,
confused.
some people don't. I was
Lot of traffic.
also concerned because their sign also partially blocks the view of that intersection. So I wasn't sure if any of this would trigger
That's
looking at the
interesting.
ordinances for the sign or any reviews by the Macomb County Department of Roads with that intersection. I know a lot of requests have been made to actually activate that signal, which I have never seen actually activated. It's always been flashing lights, even though it's a fully functional signal, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're reluctant to do that, I'm pretty sure.
So when this type of request comes before, there's no tech team review, no additional conversation with the applicant,
With the liquor license
Regarding-
request?
potential?
No.
Okay.
I mean, not normally, and again, according to the code, we're limited, at least
We can
specifically with
certainly,
the code, to the site plan and parking arrangement and the seating arrangement.
we could certainly make our comments known offhand to the Board of Trustees, however, and
But
they may be
certainly
able
we-
to
we
bring
can.
something up.
But even from a zoning perspective, these are non-conforming situations or things that, you know, we like to incentivize improvements, but we can't necessarily, unless it's a, you know, health, safety, and welfare
Yeah.
hazard kind of thing. Then
Well-
we can come in and maybe do something about it.
Blocking sign on the corner, and
That could be,
potentially that might be a health, safety,
Right,
and welfare issue.
right.
So does this mean that the person that currently owns the building is selling it and transferring the liquor license with that sale, or does it not necessarily mean that?
I don't actually know that. I don't know where this is being transferred from.
So, my own, what I've heard is that this is a new owner. I believe the old owner that owned it for many years sold. I'm assuming this is they're beginning to possibly doing some renovations and looking at changing the restaurant.
So Jane is the old owner?
I believe this is the new owner.
Okay.
I am not, I would have liked the applicant to have been here to answer any questions, but
Yeah.
I believe this is a new owner. And I'm curious, also, yeah, I don't believe they ever had a liquor license, so this must be a transfer of a liquor license from another location. But I don't think anything actually says,
Where it's coming from.
yes.
Yeah. And I'm not exactly sure how that works, whether there's a pool available and they get it's being transferred from a pool that's available, or it's a specific license that they have purchased. I'm not exactly sure how that works. This application doesn't indicate where the license is actually coming from.
Right.
They do indicate that their family,
San Souci Market.
yeah, on Harson's Island has a liquor license.
And they say that the games are not going to be offensive because they will involve knitting. So what a hoot that's gonna be.
I see that.
Sorry.
Well,
They
we
do.
welcome new business owners in the community, and we hope that they're very successful. And we hope that they will take the opportunity to spruce up and perhaps review the corner situation to lessen any potential blockage at that intersection, a visual blockage that could potentially lead to accidents.
And beautify the parking lot.
And
any way
beautified,
they
that
can.
would be lovely, yes. Thank you. We did receive a letter from the fire marshal indicating that the fire department has no issue with the liquor license being approved. All violations at that address have been corrected, so that's a good thing. Any other discussion regarding that? May I have a motion, please?
I will make a motion to recommend approval of the application for liquor license for Boat Town Willie's in a transfer.
To the Board of Trustees?
Yes.
May I have a second, please?
Support.
Thank you. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
What was the word salad?
It's okay. Any additional comments from the planner?
Yeah, I have a couple more items. First, we did have a tech team meeting yesterday. There were two cases, both in the industrial district. One was from Pure Roots on 25371 Henry B. Joy Boulevard. That is a grow facility, and they proposed a new carbon dioxide tank with concrete pad, fence, and bollards. The second request was also a grow facility, also for a carbon dioxide tank at 41645 Production Drive. Both of those requests were approved. And the last thing that I wanted to let you know about, so I think that was the last planning commission meeting. We forwarded our draft master plan to the township board, asked them to authorize the distribution of the draft plan, much like Clinton Township did a couple months ahead of us. So the township board did authorize the distribution of the draft plan. So it has been sent out. The updated draft is on the township website. The letters were sent out to our surrounding communities, Clinton Township and others, the county, other entities. They were given notice of their 63 days to provide written comments back to us. Any comments that we received from any of them are advisory. And we also notified them of the date of the public hearing. So based on the timing of the letters being sent out and the 63-day minimum, the public hearing is okay for our October 17th regular planning commission meeting agenda.
Wonderful.
So at that time, we will have the master plan up for discussion.
That's wonderful.
So there will also be another legal requirement for the public hearing is a notice that'll be published in the newspaper 15 days in advance. So that's the notification for the general public.
And so then we hold that public hearing, and then we forward a recommendation to the Board of Trustees. And then do they have to have a public hearing?
Yeah, give me 1 second. 'Cause as you know, it differs by community whether the elected officials have asserted their right to adopt the master plan. So I'm going to look back at the previous master plan and to see what, I have to refresh my memory on how that worked. Yeah, so for the 2010 master plan, the Planning Commission adopted it and the Township Board adopted it. So both adopted. So I think that, I don't know if that was because the Township Board just wanted to kind of, just take a second look and affirm the Planning Commission's decision ultimately. So,
But the only required public hearing is before the Planning Commission. Okay.
yes. So I would recommend that you follow the same procedure as last time around. So after the public hearing, possibly that evening, or at a subsequent meeting, you could adopt the plan. And then we'll send it to the Township Board and ask them to do the same. That's all I have for you.
Thank you.
So I was just curious, I wanted to attend that night, but had a conflict, I wasn't sure if anyone else was able to attend, or if you were, Adam, if the board had any specific comments to the master plan?
No comments, other than Paula Rose had a couple of typos that she had found.
Oh.
And so I made those updates to the version that's currently on the website right now.
Okay.
But no substantive comments from the Township Board.
Any other comments from the planner?
No, thank you.
Any other comments from the commissioners? Comments from the floor? Hey, Mr. Breville. If nothing else, our next meeting is Thursday, September 19th, 2024. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Support.
7:22, Mulder, Devlin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. See you in a month.
Picked the right day to do it.
Not 12.